Welcome back to the mini workbench. Today we've got this Heller box fan. It's quite old and it's worn out, or in fact may not be, but we'll check it out. It's got a few problems. The rotating front screen doesn't rotate and sometimes it just doesn't start, and I think that's just to do with it being quite dirty. So we'll have a look, we'll open it up and look inside. The only problem is it's got triangular style screw heads in it, so I'm just going to make up a triangular screwdriver. So I have this old Jensen multi-tool, I guess, not quite exactly sure. I could probably look it up actually, because you can still get these Jensen products, but this driver tip is broken. So I think what I'll do is I'll just modify this to become a triangular driver. When I look at the screw holes in the back of the fan, it is very clearly sort of like an open triangle. I've seen triangle bits, tri-bits, that look like effectively a three-winged version of this, but the one I'm trying to replicate is just almost like a square bit, but a triangular version. So the way I'll do that is I'll set this up in the vise and I'll just grind it basically with the angle grinder. The good thing is we've got 6 faces here, so I'll just work off 3 particular faces and just take it down or cut the end off, and then I'll take it down to the size point that I need. I think that's going to be pretty simple. Well, after a little bit of carving with the angle grinder, I've achieved what I think is going to be the right size and right shape on this little bit. So I'm going to actually try that in the back of the fan and see if that fits. If that fits, then the job's done and we'll get stuck into cleaning up the fan. Well, we've got our little tool here made. Looks pretty rough, but for the purpose it's going to do exactly what we need it to do. I can drop it in and engage. Yes, that's fairly locked. And let's see if we can take these out. Yep, looking good. See if our rear cover comes off. Yep, okay, power's definitely not plugged in, so there's the power cord. Oh, did I get that one? No, don't think I did. Feels better. Rear cover feels very loose, and off she comes. Don't lose those screws, although I might replace them with straight screws. And there's all the electrical there. Quick inspection, can't see anything in particular. The big issue with the fan, oh look, the blade's loose, that's interesting, so that's finger tight on there. That's good in one respect, we'll be able to take it off and clean it easier. And look at that filthy looking fan. I'll get there's a lot of hair in there, that might be why it had difficulty starting sometimes. So we'll clean all that out, remove all that. Give a bit more removal, and then we'll get the vacuum cleaner onto this and just remove some of the dust. I think that's going to be easier to clean if that's off there, particularly these. And also this looks like a gearbox in here, and there's a fair bit of dust around that, and I'm wondering whether there's possibly even some hair in the gearbox preventing this from rotating under its own power. I'm very tempted to test this, but I don't want to. I don't want to play around with stuff that's live if I don't have to. The switches all look pretty sound. That power switch What's that? It looks like it's is it a capacitor? Could be a capacitor for the capacitor run motor. In fact, yeah, I reckon it is. So that's an induction motor, brushless AC induction motor, capacitor run, I'm guessing. It's 1.2 microfarad. Yeah, that's 400 volts. Yep, that's probably, in fact, this is a mini version of, almost exactly a mini version of a washing machine, some of the older washing machine motors, induction motors. So that's it's kind of cute in that sense. I wonder what sort of bearings it has. I'll need to pick off some more of this hair. There's quite a bunch of it in there. In fact, I'll get the knife. What sort of knife have I got in the drawer here? Ooh. So we can't lose that. That's a little drive nut, so that'll be important. So we just need to be careful of some of the hardware here. This washer was on the bottom, then the fan, then the blades itself, then the drive nut, then this locking nut. Let's throw that in the bin. Might come back to that knife later. Keep this hardware so it won't get lost. Fan can go over there. Probably don't need this guy anymore. In fact, I probably will replace those screws with some just straight self-tappers. I think I've got some self-tappers that will fit there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to unscrew these 4 screws and take this off and see what drive mechanism there we're dealing with. I may have to, there's a bit of slack there, so I may be okay. So at some stage, oh, it's a separate motor that drives that. Okay, they're completely independent. Alright, you can see that broken shaft there. I think the only thing I can do there is put a double glue on it. I won't worry too much about it. Well, I could put a longer screw actually, that's the other option. So it screws right down. That is just a miniature version of the washing machine motor. Alright, I've seen enough. Not sure how that comes off. Probably looks like it's glued in. It's got a little drive motor. I'm feeling, what's that? Oh, that's sort of like a Christmas tree type stuff. So there may be other stuff in there. I wonder how that pops off. Don't want to force anything here, but I don't know really how to get that off. Alright. Well, that's clean enough. In there. Alright, I'm going to see whether I can get this fan blade off. Oh, sorry, this directional thing off. It's obviously a hubcap of some form. Let's see if we can get this sort of separate part. This is probably designed just to go on once. Yeah, it is a separate part. But she's not coming off. Really have to get under that. Probably something soft maybe. No. Alright, we may skip that one. Don't really need that fan to rotate anyway. I actually fix it in one position pointing towards me when I need it. This is the one I use in the workshop. It's second life is in the workshop. Alright. Now I'm not going to start that without the blade on it, and I'm not going to start that without the cover on it, so I've cleaned that up as best I believe I can. Cute little motor, I'm really pleased with that. The next thing is to clean up these blades, because they are going to stop a lot of efficiency in the airflow. So there's quite a lot of hair and dust on there, on that leading edge. The bin. I'll just give this a good clean up. This will help it run more efficiently, and this will help it actually move more air. Right, reassembly. First, that washer. Second, the fan. That's on loose until the lock nut goes in, which is there. Then star washer, and then the main nut that holds it all together. That seems good to me. Now this cover, if I turn this up, we're going to lose the screws everywhere, which is definitely going to happen. I'll do it in a spot where I can recover them. Alright, I actually don't think I have any self-tappers this length. So we may end up putting these back in. I've got longer ones, but I don't really want to screw in longer ones. So let's just do it. We know we can use that bit we made. This cover looks clean. Screw this back on. Let's make sure the top's clicking in. Well, let's do a quick test now that we've got it back together. Power cord, it's off. Yeah, it's in the stop mode, speed number 1. It's actually probably moving more air now than it was previously. That rotating system doesn't work at all. So we'll do manual rotation on that. It's blowing out to the side here. In fact, that is almost more air than I reckon than the number 3 position. Number 2 sounds good. Number 3 definitely moving a lot more air. Alright, very happy with that. Well, thanks for watching the little tune-up of the Heller Box Fan. Yeah, I could have gone out and bought another one for $25. I don't like throwing things out. I'd rather clean it up. Didn't cost me anything. Has convinced me though that I probably need to get one of those security sets of security bits, different shapes and sizes, but I got away with just grinding one down. Luckily I had an old bit that I could actually use for that purpose. Again, thanks for watching.